Hey, it's Jonathan Cooper here with this month's 3-2-1 message for the month of May. We'll start with the 3 district updates. For our first district update, I want to give you just a quick summary of some of the work that's been happening in our district around exciting work for the future, the journey to 2030. We've had community conversations, and maybe you've been a part of those, or you've given us feedback on that. And so we have been working so diligently to decide what are those priorities. We have also talked about our vision, and we've tightened that up. So our vision for the future is each and every comment discovers purpose and potential. This will guide the way that we're making decisions for the future to help our students find that purpose and potential. We also have a mission of growing learners, leaders, and citizens through purposeful learning and meaningful experiences within a connected community. These are ideas that will show up on our guide as we move forward. And one of the things that we'll be coming out with soon, and look for it, we're so excited, is our roadmap to Journey to 2030. And that roadmap is a digital, interactive roadmap that you'll be able to learn more about some of the priorities that we've put together this year with our community support. For our second update this month, we have the principal search that you've probably heard us talking about for Mason High School. William Mason High School is the largest high school in the state of Ohio, and we take that search seriously. We went through a full process, and the process told us that we needed to continue, and we are continuing. We actually are not only going to continue to search for the next leader, but we've done some restructuring based on the feedback from our leadership here in the building and also those involved in the interview process. So we are now looking for the executive director of high school experience here at Mason High School, which will be our principal. And we are also adding a position, the associate principal of student life, so that we can have a focus on our athletics, activities, performing arts, and also our operations of the building. And for our third district update for the month of May, we are excited to celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Month in the month of May. We would love to invite you to join us for this Mirrors and Windows events on May 20th so that we can celebrate together as a community, celebrate heritage, culture, food, and local establishments bringing food in for you to taste the culture. It's such an exciting event on May 20th. Please mark it on your calendars and plan to join us. And now for this month's 2 wayfinding tips. We have a practical tip for you to find your way around, and that is Final Forms. Many of you have used Final Forms before, and you've also given us a feedback that we want to consolidate systems to make it simpler and more streamlined for our family. So we're moving all of our forms to Final Forms. They have been working with us collaboratively to provide that, and we're excited to announce that today. And the second tip is tipping my hat to all of those Pig Abilities participants. We had athletes with all abilities coming together to run in this Pig Abilities race. It's part of the Flying Pig down in Cincinnati. I actually was able to be a part of it. I ran with my son together. It was an exciting day, and our kids did an excellent job. So congratulations to all Pig Abilities participants. And now for this month's One Family Encouragement. Earlier this year, we started a book study, Thrivers, sponsored by the Mason Schools Foundation. We want to thank the Mason Schools Foundation for sponsoring this. And if you haven't picked this book up, consider this on your summer reading list. It is so good, such a great reminder and helpful tool for parenting. The chapter 6 in here talks about perseverance, and Thrivers finish what they started and don't need gold stars. And I just thought, well, what does that mean for the Cooper family? It's such a great thing for us to reflect on. How do we build perseverance with our kids? You know, we have 4 kids. Our 2 older boys started a lawn mowing business a few years ago, which I'm just so thrilled about, that entrepreneurial spirit. Well, now they've grown that business and they have lots of lawns. And you know, in the spring, grass is growing like crazy and you can't mow when it's raining. And my boys are busier than they've ever been with a senior and a sophomore and all the events they have. And so their yards are getting behind, and they were getting behind a couple of weeks ago. And Michelle and I talked about just that struggle. We wanted to come in and help them and finish it for them because they were falling behind. But you know what we learned through that? We learned that as we encourage our boys to push through and to finish the job and to figure out the things that they've learned from that, they've learned to communicate well with our neighbors because, you know, as a parent, we start to feel a little guilty because they're mowing our neighbors' yards and we don't want them to fail. And so we started to want to fix it. And it was more really about us as parents that wanted to fix it and not really about our kids. We had to step back and say, how do we build perseverance in this moment? And so Supporting your kids in those moments, not fixing it for them, but helping them, coaching them along, how they can communicate better. So our boys communicated with their clients. Then they had to work on their schedules. How do they prioritize their time? And so we learned all kinds of valuable lessons in teamwork and working together as a family. So I encourage you, when you have those moments where it's really tempting and you're feeling that tension to fix things, just step back and say, is this a moment where my kid can grow stronger in their perseverance that's going to help them be successful in life and ultimately thrive?